subscribe and join the Hoho family. Dear Hohos, it's happy Wednesday. Off to the hospital because I have 2 more medical appointments to settle before my surgery on Friday. After that, I have to go to work. So it's gonna be morning hospital, afternoon work. I'm pretty sad now because I just realized that I will be in the hospital during the community day for October. So I'm feeling so sad because I really plan to catch a lot. My goodness. Good morning, dear Hohos. I chanced upon a lovely quote recently. It's the sort of not really acronym, but it's FEAR, F-E-A-R. So fear can mean forget everything and run, yet it can also mean face everything and rise. The choice is really yours. I think this quote is very applicable to me right now because last night I just had a lot of nightmares of me going for the surgery. Must admit that I'm feeling pretty anxious because of what has happened in Korea, which made me very scared of a hospital stay. Just hoping that I can face everything and from there I'll rise, because I really hope that the chapter will close, officially close. Like, this is really the last resort. So just close. Good morning, dear Hohos. I'll be going off for the surgery pretty soon. Just waiting for John to come pick me up. Mommy Ho will be accompanying me. Do hope that the surgery will be a successful one so that I can upload this video, this clip for you guys as well. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated along my journey whenever I can. So wish me all the best. Okay? I will miss you. Come here, hello. Mommy will miss you. Be a good boy. Mommy will be back. Okay. Hi dear Hohos, so I'm finally sort of well enough to update you guys. The past, this is already day 5 in the hospital, and the past 5 days, actually 4 days, were pretty bad. So the surgery actually went well. The macros was found, but there were the post-op complications. So the first day, day 1 of hospitalization, I remember that I was very drowsy. That was because of the GA, and then my whole body was just flimsy, and then I started shaking. I was pretty much like nauseated and asleep most of the time. They asked me to have some food, but I ate and then I didn't feel good. Later did I know that actually there was the post-op complications. Again, my intestines got paralyzed. The next day, doctors still encouraged me to eat, and I was eating Western food. I was eating chicken chop. Of course I was eating just a little bit, but I was still eating solids and I didn't feel good. So the next day my intestines got blocked because it was too much for them to handle. I started vomiting non-stop. I've lost count of how many times I vomited. I was in a lot of pain. They sent me for x-ray, and guess what? My bowels were distended. They were dilated. So I had to put on the NG tube, the nasal gastro tube. And it was horrible. Like, I vomited and vomited. Like, I couldn't even move, and then it was just down all the way. I just keep vomiting, and then they had to change my shirt, change my pants, change my blanket, and just happened like that, like the whole night. Just so groggy, I was so weak, I was so nauseated, and then that's how I spent 2 days there with the tube on. Yesterday they removed the tube, and then I felt some pain again. I thought that it was gonna come back because I did had some food. I drank some clear soup. It was all clear soup, but my bowels were not happy. I didn't feel very good. Thankfully it's not. X-ray showed that it's no longer dilated because it was already cleared previously, and I guess because liquid food doesn't clog the intestines that easily as well. Anyway, past 2 days since yesterday when the tube was removed, I'm just trying to walk a little bit more to activate my bowels, but it's not really working very well. So doctor is actually a bit resigned that such is life. I just take very long to recover. It's day 5, but back then in Korea, I took more than a few months to recover. I was in hospital in Korea for about 1 year, 1 month plus, yeah. And then I was in hospital in Singapore for about a week. so that is very long compared to these 5 days. I do feel better today, so I hope that there will only be progress from now on. The funny thing is that the doctor told me to get some exercise, like to spend more than 6 hours of exercise, of like being active in a day, but I tried for about maybe 1-2 hours at most. It's very hard to get 6 hours of like really constant movement when you're not working and you're not doing much anyway. The more I walk, the more painful my bowels are, and they have been pretty distended actually. I'm not sure if you guys can see, they are still pretty bloated. Just this morning there was some bleeding from the wound area, like suddenly still pretty bloated and swollen. So I just hope that all this will go away so that I can get discharged as soon as possible. And I do hope that the bleeding will not come back again, as they are not sure if the Hohos is actually the cause of the bleeding. We have to monitor from now on. From now to many years, many months, many years, I still don't have any bleeding. That's how they know that Hohos is actually, that's how I know. They probably would forget about me, but that's how I would know that Hohos is probably the cause of my bleeding, and we can finally put an end to this hospitalization episode. That's my hope. Funny thing is, the nurse saw me watching a lot of cooking videos when I got a little bit better, and the 2 nurses actually told me that I'm actually torturing myself because I'm actually watching this when I cannot eat. But it's not so much of a torture because I don't really feel hungry yet, even though I have cravings. I have many cravings. I wrote like maybe 36 items so far that I'm craving. I hope that I can strike them off the list one by one. I can't wait to eat. Morning, dear Hohos. It's still morning. Oh, it's afternoon already. It's a good afternoon, dear Hohos. I bring good news. So the doctor came in today and he said that I could actually have normal food, but when I had breakfast, my stomach was still distended, so he's actually changed it to soft diet before normal food. I might be getting discharged tomorrow. Today is day 7 in the hospital. It's been real long. The nurses here, the staff here, they're all so nice to help me up and all, but I really can't wait to go back. I can only hope that my intestines do not get paralyzed again so that I can go back and eat a good food. I currently have about 42 lists of things that I'm craving for that I want to strike off one by one. I really hope that my bowels buck up because yeah, the soft food is here. This is my first time I'm taking soft diet instead of only liquid diet. I really hope that there's only progress from now on. The doctor was saying that the Hohos showed that there's no lining, so he can't confirm if that's the cause of the bleeding, but he did say that if I'm bleeding again, I don't need to go to the emergency department. I can just make an appointment with him because history has shown that my blood count doesn't drop that low until I need a transfusion, so there's no need for me to go to the emergency department. I'm still hoping that there's no more of such episodes at all again, because I hope that this is my last admission and the only time I'm going to get metered is when I'm pregnant and about to give birth. Let's hope for the best.